Oh my God, Megan, were you falling asleep? You're over there going, oh my God, what'd you do last night? Brand loyalty. Let's get into it today. We're going to talk about what that means, how it differentiates from creating a brand. If you join me for the first time, my name's Brad Hogan. I'm a business guy here in Central Florida. Brand loyalty. So this is episode 12 of season 4. The ones I think of that come to my mind immediately would be Coca-Cola, Pepsi. There's a great start. I mean, you're the one or the other. You're either Pepsi or a Coke guy or gal. And sometimes you may be in the restaurant and have to settle for the other one. You know what I'm talking about. I think of things that we refer to as a item or a product. This is the strongest branding. We refer to them even when it's not necessarily the tag that's on the item. I'll give you an example. Levi's. It could be people who say, hey, hand me my Levi's. They're referring to jeans in general. That is really, really strong branding. Or I'll have a Coke. Well, I actually, do you have 7-Up? Do you have Sprite? They're just referring to a soft drink. That is really strong branding. And when we talk about brand loyalty, what is it? Is it, are you one of those people that's just a Chevy guy? Are you just a Cadillac girl? Brand loyalty and branding itself is so strong that automobile manufacturers sometimes make the same basic automobile with the same things. They even go down the same assembly line, but they put different tags on it. Dodge and Chrysler. Some of their products were very similar. We have Toyota, and then the upscale name is Lexus. We have Nissan, and their upscale brand is Infiniti. We have General Motors, and they have several things. Interesting story about those cars. They have several brands in there. So Chevy was the sport model. It was actually supposed to be the less expensive line, and then they put the Corvette and the Camaro in that line. But think about the other Chevys. They're not as luxurious as the Buick or the Oldsmobile, which has went away. Or then you got the Cadillac. But what happened within that branding, if you know that story, is sometimes the Oldsmobile became so luxurious that it was as nice or almost as nice as the Cadillac. They kind of crossed over. If I had a luxurious Oldsmobile opposed to a stripped down Buick, or if I had a maxed out luxurious Buick, it could be nicer than the Oldsmobile that wasn't decked out. They all became interwoven. So it was like, are all these brands necessary? People were crossing over, is what General Motors found in the study. How do we create loyalty among our brand? And I think we look at the people that you think of that are top dog in the market. What do they do in branding? How do they create loyalty? It's the catchphrase. It's the symbol. I think, in my era, Nike. It was Nike with the swoosh. They dropped the Nike name, and it's just the swoosh. An awful lot of their apparel, their clothing, their logos, you'll just see the swoosh. And we all know what that is. We all know that's Nike. If you are that established brand and you're established in your market or in your hometown, is that enough? Is it enough that your family name, whether it's a hardware store or a roofing company, you've been around for 100 years? Do you need to innovate? do you need to evolve? If you're John Deere tractor, do you need to innovate and evolve? Or are you good enough? I remember my grandpa saying, the truck's Ford and the tractor's green. And we know that's John Deere. People that don't know that brand think, well, John Deere, it's been around forever. But they actually had to innovate because the small farmers went away. It was either innovate or die. So you had to be big enough to pay off all that expensive machinery and labor. Your farm had to grow. And then in order to get 10 times the yield that we got 20 years ago, it's all computerized. So John Deere had to get on the computerized electronics. That's what when it's no longer just driving along in a big old tractor. It's these big combines that you drive straight down the row, whether it's the corn head or whatever else is doing. It's innovation, right? Whether it's planting or picking, we've got to innovate. The shoes are different, right? You see the running shoes, the sole's that thick, like you're running on a cloud. Man, it's that cushion. You got to innovate. So whatever your brand is, whatever you're doing, even if you're trying to establish your brand, you've got to innovate. You've got to stay up on the market. What's new? What's happening? What's legislation doing that affects your industry, your business specifically? What can you do to innovate, to be that forerunner, to have that it thing, and always be out front? I know as a roofer, for us, I believe that it's very difficult to brand. I have an easier time creating brand loyalty than I do an actual brand on the company. You scratch your head and go, wait a minute, I'm not sure I understand that. It's a little confusing. How do you create brand loyalty if you don't establish a brand? Well, you will establish brand loyalty among some people, your customers. They've got to be a customer first before they're loyal to you. So what we have to do to really get the most out of our marketing dollars, as I get down to the nitty gritty and I talk about acquisition cost, well, the easiest acquisition is the person you've already sold. If you can make them loyal to your brand, what's your acquisition cost? They're coming back to you every time. You are their go-to for whatever it is you do, whether you provide a service or whether you provide a physical product. If you're the insurance guy and you've got mom and dad, you got the house and you got both cars, well, when the son or daughter turns 16, they just call the insurance guy again, and that goes on there, and the next child turns 16, let's insure another car. Eventually the kids move out. They stay with the same insurance guy. We've created some brand loyalty. At that point, maybe the loyalty is to that business. That's the brand. And very important point. Some people out here are trying to create a brand or brand loyalty, and your company may not be the brand. It may be you, especially if you're a sales guy. One of the ways that we can create brand loyalty among a company, if we're small businesses, our sales people that are out there in the field, they create loyalty to them. Those people, those homeowners, those buyers will ultimately associate your name with it. Back to my earlier point, I think in the roofing business, it's difficult to create a brand. And I'll give this example. What kind of car do you drive? You know what that is. You know who the manufacturer is. You know what the name of the car is. So I drive a Chevy Camaro, or I drive a Chevy Corvette, or I drive a Ford F-150. You know what color it is. You know what year it is. You know how many miles are on. You know everything about that car. So I would ask you, being in the roofing business, who put your roof on? There's probably half of you that have had a roof put on in the last year that can't tell me who did it. And if you can tell me who did it, what shingle's on your roof? Or tile or metal or whatever it is. Let's talk about shingle. So is it Owens Corning? Is it GAF? Is it Certainteed? Is it Atlas? Is it Malarkey? What's on there? Is it 3-tab or architectural? You might be able to tell me that. What color is it? Do you know which shingle within the line? Is it Owens Corning duration or is it something else? What is it? And tell me about it. I believe for some of us that are in the home service business, no one's paying attention to us until they need us. So if you're an electrician, a plumber, a roofer, a floor guy, nobody's paying attention to you. When I send out a mailer, it goes in the trash. When I send out an email, it goes to the trash box, right? If I make a phone call, yeah, that's nice. Okay, I don't really need you right now. Until they need you. And for that reason, you have to continuously advertise. We know Marketing 101, it takes 7 exposures before you stick as a brand. They've got to see that billboard 7 times, or they've got to hear your name 7 times, or they've got to get the email or the letter in the mail or the postcard 7 times before it registers, who you are before they're thinking about you. Because what happens is I may make a phone call or talk to somebody today and say, hey, I'm a roofer. I do residential. I do commercial. Yeah, we do tile. We do shingle. We do metal, etc. And they don't need anything. And they'll say, okay, that's nice. And I said, well, if you know anybody that's looking, keep us in mind. That's it. Occasionally I'll make that call and they go, you know what? My mom has a problem. Or we're thinking about changing houses. We need something. Well, we've constantly got to be out there. That's why we can't stop the advertising, because when they need something, do they remember who you are? That's branding. And if you've got brand loyalty and they've done something with you in the past, or they know who you are, they're loyal to you. Hey, when they need something, they pick up the phone or they send you a text or send you an email. Hey, I need this or I need that, whatever service you have. That's what creates the loyalty. Are you taking care of your past customers? Very important question. We're right here at the Christmas season. Today is December 12th. Are you sending out Christmas baskets to your clients? Are you sending a thank you card? Are you sending a Christmas card? A holiday card? Are you recognizing those people at all? Or are you just saying, oh, those people were in the past. Who's next? If you want to create brand loyalty, you've got to stay out there. So for me in my office, what roofers send Christmas baskets? Nobody. So we're going to do it. Do you think they'll remember me? Well, maybe. Maybe they will. There's a better chance somebody remembers me. That's why we do gift baskets. What can you do that no one in your business is doing that will help you establish brand loyalty? And when you can get it in your heart that I'm not doing it because I want another sale or I want something out of it, but I genuinely appreciate those people, because without those customers, those people, especially the ones that are loyal, I wouldn't have the business I have today. It wouldn't be there. It's genuinely saying thank you, whether anything happens in the future with those people or not. Trust me, it will. At some point, it's a numbers game, and it feels so much better when we can do it from the heart, not so we can get something in return. If you're doing it to get something in return, don't even do it. You are going to be disappointed. You'll be disappointed that I gave so-and-so a gift basket and they never even called me. If that's your heart, just save your money. But when you can bring cheer and a warm, heartfelt thank you to someone, statistically in the numbers, it will come back to you. You guys, it's the struggle every day, right? This is a business. This is business that we're talking about. And you've got to fight through it sometimes. But stay true to yourself. Stay the course. If you got questions, hit me up down below. Love you guys. See you in the next one.